Let's be honest. The 80s were a minefield for horror comedies, but for every Gremlins and Monster Squad, you had to suffer through some duds like My Mom's a Werewolf or My Best Friend's a Vampire. A few films got the formula right, and one in particular became a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't about monsters in the closet or clowns from outer space. It was all about basketball, best friends, and some serious growing pains. So practice your jump shot, crank up the Beach Boys, and get ready to van surf as Gerry D, JB, Vinnie, and I discuss Teen Wolf from 1985 on this episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. Well, welcome into the 80s Flick Flashback, everybody. I'm your host, Tim Williams. Tonight, we have a full moon, and we've got a bad case of wolf fever. To help me break down this howlingly good classic, I've assembled my own varsity squad. First up, he's a man whose knowledge of 80s films is anything but average. He's got the on-air charisma of Scott Howard on the basketball court and the wisdom to know you should always just be yourself, wolf or no wolf. Please welcome the one and only Gerry D from Totally Rad Christmas. How you doing, Gerry?
Give me a keg of beer.
I'm good, Tim. How's it going? Good. Awesome. Next on the team is a man who can surf the top of a van with the best of them. His cinematic insights are as legendary as a party at Styles' house, and he always brings a fun-loving, scene-stealing energy to every episode. It's a pleasure to welcome back the man, the myth, the wolf, JB Huffman. How you doing, JB?
I'm doing good, man. I'm ready. I'm getting ready to talk about one of my favorite movies with one of my favorite actors. And all I can say is, Brad, glass of milk.
Yeah. And rounding out our starting lineup is a guy who knows that to win the game, you got to have a great defense. He's here to block any bad takes and help us figure out if this movie is a championship contender or just one hairy situation. A huge welcome to the show, Vinnie Brezinsky. How you doing, Vinnie? Please tell me I said your name right.
You did. You got it right. It's hard to pronounce that Polish name. And by the way, gang, I could smell the liverwurst all the way over here.
Well, welcome everybody. We're here to talk about Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox, 1985. You know, it was a hit because it came out after Back to the Future. I think they were smart, and we'll talk a little bit about that, how the marketing got a little smart there. Excited to have the crew here. Vinnie was with us a couple episodes ago. No, it's been about a year since Vinnie was with us.
A year. Yeah.
For our 100th episode, played the trivia game with us, and been trying to get him back ever since, and glad to have him back on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad it finally fit in here. It's like I want to make an excuse that I have a fun life, but I really don't. It's just never really. I'm either normally on Jerry's podcast or I'm watching football.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, glad to be back. And I believe I won that, didn't I? Not that I'm bragging. I think I won
your team.
that.
Your team did. Yeah, you did. Way to bring everybody up to speed. So yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about when we saw Teen Wolf for the first time. So Vinnie, since you're back from a hiatus, why don't you get us started? When did you see Teen Wolf for the first time? Did you see this in the theater, on VHS, on cable, or when it made its debut on network TV?
So I saw it 85. I was 5, right? So I did see it on VHS.
Yeah.
But I remember being a fan of it more because I was into basketball at the time.
Okay.
Than I was Michael J. Fox and or whatever. I remember seeing, oh wow, there's basketball in this movie. Great. And then I'm like, oh, it's the guy from Back to the Future. Cool.
Mm-hmm,
and then I started watching it, but it's one of those movies when you see now on network TV, you just don't turn off, right? You keep it on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, it's like this, Red Dawn.
Yeah. You know,
the whole bunch of Bill and Ted's. if I see that, I keep it on. But this one I've always watched on, and I watched it again closely today for the first time, and I'm waiting to hear what other people think. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff I missed when I was younger and or haven't watched before, or haven't
Right.
rewatched it or
A
paid
lot more
attention to it in a
innuendo
long.
than I remember.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, how is this a PG movie?
Yeah,
Like,
you know what?
It was the 80s, man.
Yeah, I was looking at
That's
that.
literally how.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, there's
was,
literally a shirt. I don't want to say because I know this is PG, but I love Styles' shirts. But there was one,
yeah.
and I'm just
What are
like,
you-
I
yeah,
need
yeah,
that
yeah.
shirt. I remember saying that when I was a kid. My mom's like, "You don't say that." I'm like,
Right,
"Well,
right.
it's on this. It's a PG movie." And
Yeah.
That's right. It must be okay.
Yeah. And what's
Yeah.
funny is like I think it was on a couple of years ago, one of the basic cable channels, and they blurred out like that part of the shirt. And it's so funny because you
Oh
can
my
tell
gosh.
when he's moving around, like it's like you're catching a letter here and there because whoever's doing the blur blob thing can't get it perfectly right.
Couldn't
So,
quite keep up.
oh yeah. So what about you, JB? When did you see Teen Wolf for the first time?
Well, that was the year that I was born, so I definitely didn't see it in theaters. But
I heard it from my mother's womb.
But no, I was I watched a lot of those movies when I was a kid, and I can remember it might have been, yeah, it was definitely in the 90s when I first watched it, but I don't remember the first time that I watched it. I just remember watching it a lot when I was a kid, and I'm like you, Vinny. Like I've always been a big basketball fan, and even now I coach basketball, and like that was what drew me to it in the beginning was they're playing basketball on it, and it's this high school movie. You know, Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox. I really like Michael J. Fox. Watching Family Ties when I was a kid, but no, it's the basketball drew it to me. So I was probably 5 or 6 when I first watched it, and it was probably just showing on one cable network or whatever. I don't remember them ever blurring that out though on cable. They like must
No,
have-
not on cable. Yeah, like regular TV. Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right. What about you, Jerry?
So, yeah, I was also 5, so I don't really remember exactly when I saw it. I think it was on VHS, and because I remember seeing it at the video store, but I know I saw it all the time. I don't know if it was HBO or one of the other channels, but this thing was always on, and I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I loved it so much that I sent you guys a picture. I was Teen Wolf
Yeah.
for Halloween one year. And it wasn't just Werewolf, specifically Teen Wolf, because my mom, like those iron-on letters, she actually wrote Teen Wolf on the back of that jacket. Yeah, it was like super cool, right? This kid that turns into a werewolf, and then all of a sudden he's awesome at basketball, and it's this, like all werewolves are.
Yeah.
But but it was just fun, and no, I definitely did not understand all of the jokes, and there's a lot in there that I didn't get, but it was cool just to see him like this kid struggling with stuff. I was like the little nerdy kid, super scrawny, so I was always like not good at basketball either. So it was like, I get this guy. It would be awesome to like wolf out and just go to town on these basketball guys. But no, it just didn't quite work like that for me. But at the same time, I got to live vicariously through Scott Howard. So yeah, great stuff.
So I'm a little different. Like Jerry's seen some of my photos on social media, but I was more like chubby. Like I was a big fat kid, and the jersey never really fit me properly. So when I was going forth for this, and I was like, yeah, it would be cool. I'm like Scott Howard, but I'm living Chubby's life. Like I wasn't eating an apple during a game, but like
Right.
I knew
Right.
I knew that tight fitting jersey feeling. I fit in, and you'll see, there's some photos out on my social media, Tim. You can go look, but it's people still like, that was you, and I'm like, yeah, I can't help it. Like, what do you want? But he kept it real for all us chubby guys.
He got some good shots in that last
Yeah, he
last
did.
ball game too. So
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, he didn't even look at the basket that stuff went in. Not even like rim.
Yeah.
Like I heard that twine.
His form wasn't good either, but man.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. That hook shot was Kareem
Right.
Abdul-Jabbar-esque.
The form for everybody was driving me nuts, to be honest. Like, I'm watching Michael J. Fox shoot, and I'm like, dude, what is this?
Well, I just noticed it today, and we can go. The layup that he made was the same layup just taken from 5 different angles.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you coach basketball, JB, you know how hard it is to hit that backboard, have it roll around the front of the rim and go in. There's zero chance that happened any other time ever. Like if it was going directly in, like I would say okay, but it's that roll on the rim.
Yeah.
It's just a different
Yeah.
angle. They shot it from 5 different angles, but it's the same exact shot from 5 different angles. Cannot unsee. I remember watching it as a kid, and I watched it again today. I'm like, it's just different angles. I remember trying to redo that shot, and I never could. Like I
Right.
could never get that angle. He was such a terrible basketball player that they were probably like, oh my goodness, he finally made one.
Yeah.
Let's keep it and use it.
Like, man, this basketball team, they're all like short, out of
Mhm.
shape guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jerry, you
good
grew up
job.
this was Pennsylvania basketball. I don't know what you're
Mhm.
talking about. Like this was like I know this is supposed to be California, but this is the real life. I was my center for my basketball team. I'm 6'1". Like
Well, but
again, I was Chubbs. I was
Right.
Chubbs.
Right.
yeah, yeah. And I'm from like South Texas where we're all like short Hispanic guys.
Just really it was a really
like-
quick game. The game was probably like 90 to 88.
It's like the
We
first
didn't
time.
make it up the court. It was like 32-28.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
For sure.
well, yeah. Well, it's the first game when the coach is like, what do you mean you want to forfeit? I mean, figure we get out of here. We can beat some traffic.
Beat some
But if you
traffic.
guys want to keep going, I mean, it's up to you. It's like, we got a point average we're trying to keep up. It's like,
But who
Yes.
else?
Finstock
I've
was
never played a
amazing.
high school game before 7:00. Like they were playing at like 2.
yeah, yeah, 2 in the afternoon. Oh man. All right, back on topic. So I can't remember if I saw Teen Wolf in the theaters. I know I saw Back to the Future in the theaters. If I did see Teen Wolf, I would have seen it like maybe at the Dollar Theater, like after it had been out for a while. But I'm like you guys, I don't remember if it was on cable or like I know I just watched it over and over and over again. And so, and I think I recorded the TV version and watched that a few times because we get into trivia. There are a couple of added scenes that are in the TV broadcast version that's not in the theatrical version that I kind of was like, I think I kind of remember that. So we'll get into it. But how long has it been since you rewatched it for the podcast?
So I watched this 3 weeks ago. This is another one that I watch like maybe once a year.
Yeah, I was just, this one's supposed to be in your heavy rotation.
I do love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What about you, JB?
It was probably just a couple of years ago because I do remember watching it and not hitting quite as much as it did when I was a kid, but I still liked it and enjoyed it.
Mhm.
But it was that was when I first started seeing like the bad basketball play, and it just kind of really, really bothered me.
Sometimes it
but-
sucks to grow up, doesn't it?
It does, man. There are certain movies that I still have not rewatched since the 90s because I don't want to.
Yeah,
you don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to
yeah.
spoil it. No,
Yeah.
like Howard the Duck. I used to love that movie when I was a kid. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to watch it again because
Yeah.
I know it's going to be bad.
I
Like,
just watched that one like 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah.
Look, go back to the episode. The first half of that movie is great. It's the second half where it just goes like, what are we doing? It's like it goes off
100%
the
agree.
rails. It goes
Yeah.
off the rails.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Yeah, I was telling somebody before, they're like, I tell people I have 80s podcasts, like, oh man, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I'd be like, yeah, hold on to the memory. Like, don't
There's a few like that for sure.
yeah, like don't,
But you
don't
said
need to
that,
rewatch
but
it.
like I watched a couple 80s movies recently. Some YouTube thing came on and was like, great, the 80s movies that were like apocalyptic movies. And I'm like, I never seen this one.
Yeah.
They were all pretty good and relatable. But I think
Yeah.
it's one of those things where people like love Home Alone. But if you see Home Alone now for the first time,
Oh
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but some of these like hold up. Like,
You mean
there
like
was
one
I
of the
was-
greatest Christmas movies of all time, Home Alone?
Vinny, how long has it been since you rewatched Teen Wolf before you rewatched it for the podcast?
normally it's on around Halloween time. Right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
normally
Right.
on AMC or one of them.
Mhm.
So I'll catch it as it's on.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those ones I just don't turn off when it's on.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I watched it today, but I feel like I see it every year around Halloween time
Mhm,
at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make its rounds like once a year. Like it's not one of those that they play like year round, like you see every couple of months, but like there's a certain season where like it's on like for a good, 4 to 6 weeks a couple of times. Because I
Right.
think it was on TV. I think it might have been on AMC.
I was gonna say, I
Like
think it's
maybe,
AMC that
yeah,
it was
like
on.
maybe,
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 years ago because it was on and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. And my daughter came and she's like, what is this? And I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to watch Teen Wolf. But unfortunately, it was right at that scene where after he's been in the play and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
his crush is sitting on like,
We all
"Well,
remember that
yeah,
scene.
yeah, like,
Yeah, we do.
for me, it was great. But for my, 13-year-old daughter, I was like, no, no, no. I'll wait and let you see it from the beginning. We'll skip this part later. But you don't want to watch it from this point. You need to see it from the beginning.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
but yeah, this is one that I bought. I bought the 2-pack. Yes, I do own Teen Wolf 2, TOO, with Jason
Jason Bateman.
Bateman during his Hogan family era. But so I do watch this one like maybe not every year, but every couple of years I do put it back on because it is a fun. And sometimes it's I'm like you guys, like I'll want to watch them. Like, oh man, is it going to be as good as it was the last time I watched it? Am I going to like really like see all the imperfections? And even when I rewatched it again this week, it's like I saw the imperfections, and at this point, I don't care.
Who
It's
cares?
a fun movie,
Yeah.
fun movie. So
They weren't that off the wall, right? Like, so the basketball cutscenes, we'll talk about it. Like,
yeah,
okay, now I'm watching it, but the rest, you're just like, it's 80s. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
it's nothing to do with the movie. It's just how 80s movies were made.
Mm. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. There's one thing that caught my attention this time. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about it after we do storage or pre-production because I want to hear your take on this. But let's go. Or storage and pre-production is not too long, but we'll go through this. But Teen Wolf was one of the first scripts written by Jeph Loeb. Loeb was
Jeph
hired.
Loeb,
Yeah,
man, like comic book writer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This that's big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mando,
Is
he wrote
that,
Commando. I mean, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
is he related to Lisa?
No,
No, no. The surprising success of Valley Girl, they wanted to make a comedy that would cost almost nothing and take very little time to film. The project came together when Michael J. Fox accepted the lead role and his Family Ties co-star Meredith Baxter Birney became pregnant, which created a delay in the sitcom's filming that allowed Fox time to complete filming and then return to a sitcom because they wanted like I think they filmed it in like 21 days. It was like super fast how it was made.
which can we talk about Michael J. Fox and like this dude did everything in 1985. Back to
Yeah,
the Future.
yeah.
He was still filming his show plus Teen Wolf. Like,
Hmm.
good for him. That talk about a
Dude was
hardworking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude was working.
So so the screenwriter, so Jeph Loeb, and he had another co-wrote it with him, Matthew Wiseman. They interviewed several directors for the movie. They asked the directors what they thought the movie was about. Most said it was about a werewolf, but Rod Daniel, who got the job, was the only one who said it was about a father and son. So he saw
Mm.
more than just just a werewolf teen movie. So which I think kind of helps it have some, you know, makes it more memorable than just just a teen comedy werewolf movie. So a budget of $4 million. It started filming on
Like
November of
nothing.
1984, and concluded the next month. Yeah, $4 million was like a drop in the bucket back then.
Mm.
Before we get into casting, I've seen the meme on Facebook. I think I even reposted it on Instagram. It's a picture of like Michael J. Fox as the wolf playing basketball. And the thing is, it's an 80s movie when nobody
Oh, yeah.
reacts when you turn into a werewolf in the middle of a basketball game and the game keeps going. And that is funny. But there's a scene at the bowling alley when, the Wells
Mick?
Nick comes up to him and he says, "You don't scare me, freak. Underneath all that hair, you're just still a dork. I've handled your kind before. Your mama used to steal chickens out of the backyard until I blew her head off with a shotgun." And I was like, wait, okay. I just
Mhm.
thought of something. In this world, werewolves are not uncommon and they're real. Like like nobody's freaked out that he's a werewolf. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Mhm.
seems like a very normal thing. And as a kid, didn't think about that at all. And maybe like the other 1,000 times I've seen the movie, I just take it for what it is. But that one like little glimpse or that little, clip of dialogue, I was like, wait, so is it like, are there other werewolves in the town that we don't see wolf out? Like, is it really
Maybe.
that odd? So I mean, had you guys thought of that? Has that ever
It's
crossed your mind?
it's
That-
funny that you said that because today I caught. I knew it before, but
Yeah.
he talked about how his dad got in a fight with the vice principal.
Right,
Yeah.
Thorn.
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah,
the,
yeah.
as the
Yeah.
werewolf. So
Right.
this whole
Mhm.
time he knew that Scott could be a werewolf, and
Yeah.
he didn't like freak out or do anything. He was just
Yeah.
hanging in the weeds, being like, "I'm waiting for you to come out to get revenge." And
Right.
I'm just like, so this dude was not afraid of a wolf teenager growing up
Mhm.
with hormones.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me this time I watched it that Scott's dad was talking about, I thought I was hoping I wouldn't have to explain this to you because
Yeah.
sometimes it
Sometimes it
skips a
skips a
generation.
generation.
Yeah.
But then I was
about
like,
that.
wait a minute. But his mom was a werewolf too.
Mhm.
So I was thinking he got it from his mom, or from his dad. But I guess that so the two werewolves married each other. Just
Yeah.
like it was just weird. Like, oh, anyway.
The funny thing is do y'all remember the cartoon that they
I remember there was a cartoon, but I don't really remember watching the cartoon.
Yeah,
Same.
so in the cartoon, they, like, really try to, like downplay the whole werewolf thing, like, they're trying to hide it from the town, and it's, like, a
Mhm.
big secret, so it's a
Uh-huh.
little bit of a retcon, but, like, yeah, it was completely different from the movie where it's just
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, I'm a werewolf, I'm gonna be upside down doing a
Yeah.
handstand on this van."
Yeah. I mean, think about it. There's no scene in the movie where when he turns into werewolf, anybody freaks out.
Mhm.
Like, no, they're not coming at him with torches. They're not, he's not like the monster like you would
Yeah.
expect in like the monster movies. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why. Like today, it was just like the light bulb when I was like, wait a minute, you mean in this movie werewolves are normal? Anyway, okay.
Well, I
What
don't
if
know if it
what if
was
it's not just
normal
werewolf?
because I would think that he wouldn't have freaked out so much. Like people had to know. Like that was the
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of contradicting itself because he was freaking out like, oh, there's such thing as werewolves. Because I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, if the other guy knew, shouldn't it be more out there? But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like every time I think about that, I'm just like, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I think only a few people knew. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be that, which is why
Also
they probably didn't go into it as much. Like
like,
given those small little dialogues kind of gave you that idea of like, okay, it's not completely out of it's not just a myth, like they do exist.
right.
Maybe they weren't as common as I was taking it. But go ahead, Jerry.
Well, I was gonna say also, like, Thorn and his dad got into it, right? So why
Mhm.
wouldn't Thorn carry around, like, a gun with a silver bullet?
They like,
Like
Uh-huh.
like
no, yeah, no way.
Well,
But
what?
again, if his dad in the movie said it's not like you see in the movies, so maybe silver bullets don't really kill
Oh,
them.
that's
Yeah.
true, maybe,
Yeah.
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 And like another thing that I was wondering, like, are there any other werewolf movies where being turned into a werewolf makes you more skilled at a human game? Something that dogs don't play that humans
Right,
play.
right.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
You
I
can
I
hear
never
it, yeah.
thought about that when I was a
Yeah.
kid, but now I'm like, why would that make you better at basketball?
Yeah.
Or just more athletic, I
Yeah,
guess? I don't
werewolf,
know.
you can hear a dog whistle and you can do a handstand on a moving van. That makes
There-
sense. That
Werewolf.
tracks. Yeah.
But it's kind of like though, like you see zombies that are very slow, and then you have the ones in the Will
Like-
Smith movie that were like,
Yeah,
War
yeah,
Z,
yeah, yeah.
right?
yeah,
Yeah. I Am Legend and
Yeah.
World War Z. Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
All right. Well, thanks for humoring me on that. Let's jump into the cast. Of course, we talked about Michael J. Fox as Scott Howard. We've
Mhm.
talked about Michael J. Fox. We did all 3 Back to the Future movies already, so you know him from that. We mentioned he was in the hit sitcom Family Ties. He went on to star in other films like Secret of My Success from '87, Casualties of War '89, Doc Hollywood in '91, The Frighteners in
Doc
'96.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Doc Hollywood.
Me too.
So,
That's another one HBO showed all the time.
all
the
the time.
time. all the
Yep.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just got the DVD or the Blu-ray of The Frighteners, which is the director's cut. So I'm going to
So-
watch that here in a couple weeks.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's
I
it,
like
yeah.
the Frighteners.
Yeah, I like Frighteners. So yeah, Michael J. Fox, not a good basketball player. So if you read any of the behind the scenes, as we kind of already talked about, he was terrible. So college basketball player Jeff Glosser was actually his double, his basketball double. And I think they said it took 12 hours to get the double into the makeup to at least look like Michael J. Fox in the makeup. So I'm like, can you imagine like having to play basketball with all that stuff on you and be able to make those shots and stuff? So,
Wow.
but yeah, but I wanted to go back and look, but I was like, surely the double is taller than Michael J. Fox because he's only
He's
like
like
what,
5 foot,
like
nothing.
yeah,
something,
5'5"
yeah.
something. I mean, he's really short because there's a scene where like when he's in the wolf outfit, he goes up to like Chubby, and I'm like, Chubby's not that tall either, but like everybody's towering over Scott when he's regular, but
Mhm.
like, does he grow like another foot when he turns into the wolf as well? So I don't know. Something to think about next watch. So then we got James Hampton as Harold, his dad, best known for his TV roles such as Private Hannibal, Shirley Dobbs, and F Troop. He was on the Doris Day Show, Love American Style. His movie roles such as Caretaker in The Longest Yard in 74, which I just watched a couple weeks ago. I'd never seen the 74 version, which was really good. He returned for the sequel, Teen Wolf 2 in 87. He was
Yeah.
also in the movie Sling Blade in 1996. So he actually auditioned and originally had the role of the coach in the movie. But
That would have been a different movie.
yeah. But then when they saw Jay Tarsis, you got it right, as Coach Bob, when they got Jay Tarsis, then they decided that he would be better cast as the dad. So, which I think fit. The coach is
Mhm.
his own. We'll get to the coach in a minute, but
Oh man, I love the coach.
the coach is great.
I'm gonna be honest. Like most of the cast, except for Michael J. Fox, I knew from this movie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I really didn't know that James Hampton had been in anything else.
Same.
Teen Wolf 2. And
Right.
then when I went back and was watching The Longest Yard, I was like, oh wow, it's the dad from Teen Wolf. Even that movie was made 10 years before Teen Wolf was.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
did remember James Hampton from Sling Blade, but I originally saw him in Teen Wolf, and so
Yeah.
when I watched Sling Blade, it was like, but I think I don't know if I saw Pee Wee's Big Adventure before.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I didn't know him
Yeah,
from
Chubbs.
that.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
really his
so
only other like most notable role was like his two biggest roles were this movie and Pee Wee's Big Adventure. And we'll give you his
And
name.
a little cameo in Naked Gun.
That's
It's
it.
Enrico
Ricky
Palazzo.
Palazzo.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's so
I
great.
know you are, but what am I?
That
That's so good.
is Mark Holton is his name as Chubby. So, and that's his
Yep.
name in the credits is Chubby. So,
Yeah, that's
This movie is the king of nicknames.
yes,
Like
yes,
Styles.
I
Booth,
always
yeah, exactly.
Chubby.
like I would love to be like this, be called Styles in high school.
Oh,
Like, or
yeah,
like-
yeah.
but granted, I was called Chubby, so I guess it was okay. So,
Look, I just wanted to be friends with the guy named Styles in high school.
That's
no,
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 Also, the vice principal's name is Rusty Thorne.
Yeah.
Like, what a great
Mhm.
name.
Mm-hmm.
Speed Thorne.
Speaking of nicknames, I didn't really even realize that these people actually had full names.
Yeah.
Until
Oh,
I
yeah,
started
yeah.
looking
Right?
at the cast. So it's
Except for
Lisa
Chubbs.
Booth Marconi.
Except for
And-
except for Chubby. Chubby was just Lisa Booth Marconi was her actual name.
Really?
Rupert
yeah.
Styles.
I'm just looking at
Stilinski.
IMDb. It just says Booth.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I always thought that Styles was like Styles, but it's
So did
actually
I.
Styles with
Mhm.
an
Yeah.
I because his last name is Stilinski.
Stilinski, yeah. So at least it's yeah. But where did you get Booth from Lisa? But I did see this in several different sources that Lisa Booth Marconi was based on one of the writer's high school girlfriends whose real name was Booth, or I guess her real nickname was Booth. So I'm like, there's got to be a story there. Why? I mean, you got to give us a story of why your name is Booth, or maybe not. But we're right
Was
there
I
with
the
her.
only one that thought she was cuter than the other girl? at the time?
Absolutely.
No,
I
no,
thought
you
that
weren't.
same way.
As a
Yeah.
kid, I did not, but now definitely. Yeah.
No, the
Yeah.
whole time I was always like, why is he going for Booth anyway? Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I think as a
Pamela
kid,
Wells
if I
just more
remember,
exotic.
yeah.
So
I think
Yeah, yeah.
as a kid, I probably wasn't picking one over the other. Just take them both. But
True. Good
Fair.
point.
Lisa Booth Marconi was played by Susan Ursitti, Ursitti. She also was in the movie Zap. That was her
Yeah.
role before
yes,
this,
yes.
which is why she got cast in this. She was also had some television guest roles on 21 Jump Street and Charles in Charge. But I thought she would have she was great. I'm surprised
and I
she didn't
think,
do more after this. So.
The blonde also was on Charles in Charge.
She was,
wasn't she?
yeah, she was. And so was our next person, Jerry Levine as Rupert, which is why he went by Stilinski. He started on Charles in Charge in '84. and then he got his film debut in Teen Wolf. He starred in the ensemble television drama The Bronx Zoo in 1987. Other films include Iron Eagle in 86, K9 in 89. He was also in the Born on the 4th of July in 89 with Tom Cruise. But he became more of a director. He's done a lot of directing of like TV shows now. But yeah, he was
You missed one of his best ones. TV show in the 90s. Anyone got it?
Seinfeld.
Going Places with Alan Ruck and Heather Locklear.
Seinfeld, I think.
He was Mr. Mac on Boy Meets World.
That's
Wow,
right.
that I
That's
don't
right.
remember.
I do have that on there. Yeah, Boy Meets
Wow.
World, Chicago Hope.
I remember watching the
Seinfeld,
show. I'm like,
and Grace.
that's
Yeah.
Styles.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the cultist, right? Like the
Yes.
cult leader.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I want to see one of those ones where Styles went off the deep end. Like, you know how they try to put movies together.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Styles couldn't take, after the fame of Scott in Teen Wolf, he kind of went downhill and formed his own cult.
Yeah.
And he ended up in Philadelphia. This is where he met Sean Hunter.
It was because Styles is a character in Teen Wolf too, even though he's played by
He's a
different
different
actor.
character. Yeah, different actor. Yeah. Terrible. Yeah, terrible. But when we get into it, unfortunately, it's an '80s movie, so eventually I'll have to cover it. But anyway,
Man, I like Teen Wolf too.
yeah.
It's not great, but I like it.
See, I bought the 2-pack. I've watched Teen Wolf several times. Every time I start Teen Wolf 2, I don't make it through the end.
I thought that girl was pretty cute too.
I have to go back and watch it now.
So what's weird about Styles is every time I watch the movie, I expect him to look like Corey Feldman, and then I see him, and it's not Corey Feldman, and I know it's not, but I'm like, for some reason, I see Corey Feldman every time I think of Styles. I was like, but it's not him. It doesn't even really look like him. Like,
No, not at all. That is a character that Corey Feldman probably could have played because it's very, it's very much in his wheelhouse.
That might be
couldn't
why.
afford him at that time.
Probably not.
And he was too young at that time too.
Well, yeah, 85.
probably
Yeah, he
true,
was
too,
too. Yeah, definitely too young. He didn't. Anyway, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Jared Levine said decades later, he's still known all over the world for playing Styles. One time, a fan of the film recognized him at the Western Wall in Jerusalem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So had to put that in there. Then you got Matt Adler as Lewis, kind of like the forgotten character. He's kind of there. Best known for supporting roles in this, Whitewater Summer, one of my favorites that nobody's heard of, Dream a Little Dream, and he starred in North Shore. If you haven't seen Whitewater Summer, I'm going to tell you right now, Kevin Bacon, Sean Astin, it's a great movie. You got to see it. So it was lost in video, and it was delayed in release, came out much later. I think it went straight to video just about, but I've seen that movie so many times. I love it. And he is in that one. Then we've got Jim McCrell as Rusty Thorne, as Jerry mentioned, as the vice president. He was mainly like a game show host in like the 70s. And then he moved into acting and television, doing Semi-Tough, Harry's War, several made-for-TV movies. He also played a reporter in 2 Joe Dante films, The Howling and Gremlins. And then he was in some TV shows like Dallas, Soap, Moonlighting, Golden Girls. So yeah, he was definitely someone that I recognized by his face, but I couldn't tell you like when I saw that he was the reporter in Gremlins, like, yeah, probably what I remembered him from. So
yeah, he's an guy. Yeah, exactly.
definitely one of the
exactly
guys.
right.
Yeah.
So back up real quick though, because
Yeah.
on Matt Adler, the Lewis character,
Yes.
did it ever get resolved as to why he did not like Scott anymore?
I thought the same thing today. It's like, why?
I think he was
why
just
did he
scared,
start
right?
talking to
Can
Scott?
they not have that like something?
Yeah, the
it's almost
resolve
like
that. Yeah.
It's almost like that was part of the director's cut or something, and they just scrapped it. Like, what happened,
Yeah.
man? Why does Lewis have so much beef with Scott?
Right.
And then
Because
all of a
he
sudden they were
was
best friends
scared.
again.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was just terrified of him and then just left it hanging.
Yeah.
Maybe
They only had
maybe
21
his
days,
parents
right?
were,
Yeah, 21 days. Yeah.
werewolves. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got some haunting past with
He's got
werewolves.
some werewolf PTSD.
Yeah,
Turns out
that's
they're
it.
all at that camp that the Howling set at.
Oh yeah. I want to run through these pretty quick. The last few. Mark
Okay.
Arnold played Mick, Pamela's boyfriend and Scott's nemesis. He was in a couple of B movies like Transfers 4 and Transfers 5. He's also had minor roles in other movies like Threesome in '94, Blade Runner 2049, and Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021. He was
Really?
also, yeah, I mean, very, very small role.
Mhm.
After he filmed this movie, he spent several months on the soap opera Santa Barbara, but then he asked to be killed off the soap by the time the film came out so he could be free to promote it. I guess they really thought this was going to be his big break and give him all the acting roles, but it did not. Jay Tarsis, we mentioned before, as the coach. He's known more as a writer, executive producer. He created and produced The Days and Nights of Molly Dodd and the Slap Maxwell story, and co-created Buffalo Bill. Both of those were with Dabney Coleman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was also an executive producer on the Bob Newhart show. So yeah, but the coach, I mean, one of the best characters.
Totally.
Go
There's
grab
3
this
rules
assault.
I live by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never play cards with the guy who's got the same last name as the city, or same
Yeah.
first name as the
Never
city.
get less than 12 hours of
Never
sleep.
get less than 12 hours of sleep.
Yep.
And never go out with a woman with the tattoo of a dagger on her body.
Yep.
You follow those, everything else is cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
I've never heard anybody else say that. Cream cheese.
You tell your players all the time, right?
I love that scene with him and coach.
Yeah.
Like, we told you we could come and talk about anything. Yeah. What you got? And he tells us like, I'm really busy, but you come back anytime you want to talk. I'm here, mi casa es su casa.
It's like, I didn't catch that until I watched it as an adult either. It's like, I'm always available, but I'm not right now, basically.
You got a job with your old man. I should be asking you for money.
Oh, man.
And then
Like when he tells them the story about the kid with the
the
cripple. and,
yeah. He's in bad shape.
Get
What
a
happened to him?
job.
I don't know. He was third string.
I
I
didn't
didn't
need
need
him.
him anyway.
But I'm a starter. That's what I'm saying, Scott. We gotta keep you can't give up now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a starter. And you already got a job. Like he just made this about a job and his position on the court. Like it's just like this. Okay.
Didn't he even complain about the IRS one time?
Yeah, he's in the same scene. He's like, the
IRS
IRS lick. Yeah, like, they got
I
personal
can't
vendetta,
help you
yeah.
with your problems because I got the IRS breathing down my throat.
Because they go after so many high school basketball coaches.
Yeah, that's top of their list.
Right, exactly. Or no, my favorite coach is the doesn't matter how you play the game, it's whether you win or lose. It doesn't matter all that.
And even
much.
even that doesn't always matter.
Dude,
Best lines.
I had a coach that used to say that to me all the time. It doesn't matter how you play the games, whether you win or lose.
All right, last two here. Scott Paulin as Kirk Lolly, the drama teacher. He was in the movie The Right Stuff in '83. He was also in Cat People, The Accused in '88, Turner and Hooch in '89, I Am Sam in 2001, and he portrayed Red Skull in the 1990 Captain America movie. If you ever want to sit through that, he's in that as well.
I don't recommend it, but
right. And then I recognize the name Doug Savant in the credits, but he played the other teammate like him and Chubby. But Doug Savant's known for being on Melrose Place from '92 to '97, and also in Desperate Housewives from 2004 to 2012. So that's why I recognized his name, even though I didn't watch either of those shows, but I did recognize his name. A little tidbit about the cast, and we'll move on to the next section. If the teen actors seem old to be in high school, it's no wonder. Michael J. Fox was 23. Barry Levine was 27. Mark Holton, who played Chubby, was 26. And Mark Arnold, who played Mick, was 27. And I could have swore he was at least 30.
yeah, for real. But that's also the 80s. Everybody everybody
Of
looked
course.
old.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he-
Norm was only 34 and Cheers. I mean,
exactly.
True, that still blows my mind, man.
but the one you missed, and this is I knew her from a different movie, not this, because
Okay.
I love 80s B movies, horror movies. Lori Griffin was in Never See Cheerleader Camp.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Deep cut.
Oh, it's a deep cut. I mean, I remember Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, in the 90s, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then it's like, she went on a little left curve
Yeah.
from Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, I know this girl. And then it was like, I look at it, I'm like, that's definitely the girl from Teen Wolf. But it's one of those ones, if you've never seen Sleepaway Camp, I think it's called. And then there's one called Cheerleader Camp. Both great 80s B horror movies.
Yes, you're right. I did skip over Lori Griffin, who played Pamela. Yeah, his crush. Cheerleader Camp and Aloha Summer. She also had guest roles on Charles in Charge and Highway to Heaven. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But those are
different cast.
excellent slasher movies. Excellent.
I mean, '80s was the prime B horror movie decade. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh
so
yeah, definitely.
and are they worth watching? Probably not. But are they entertaining? Absolutely. So cool.
So here's a question that like I remember for this because I was a big wuss, still kind of am, even though I'm 45 years old. I remember going to my parents and be like, "Is Teen Wolf scary? Am I going to be scared?"
Not at all.
No, is Michael J. Fox is probably not scary. Okay.
And it really isn't. Like there's nothing that's really scary about it at all. I mean, it's really like the werewolf part is almost,
That's probably the scariest part.
yeah, yeah, like
his first transformation.
his
right?
transformation, and even that is not that bad. I mean, it's like
Right.
if you saw the Thriller video, you pretty much saw his transformation.
That's right. Exactly.
This,
I mean, it has a cool front cover that was on the VA.
yeah,
Also,
oh yeah,
It's also did Reanimator, and I learned my lesson quickly after that
It's a
one.
whole different type of movie there.
yes,
Ugh.
yes.
Mhm.
Man. All right, well, let's jump into iconic scenes. So, if someone says Teen Wolf, what's the first scene that pops in your mind? And I'll start with Jerry.
There's like so many that kind of pop in together. Probably the very first one that comes to mind is the "Give me a keg of beer,"
Yes,
and his eyes glow red, and then
Yeah.
the old
Oh,
man
yeah,
is
yeah.
just because they film it right. The lenses, they use a lot of little lens tricks, and
Mhm.
it's just So that's probably the one that first pops in my mind.
Okay. What about you, Vinny?
Can I have two? Because there's two
Yeah.
that just pop up.
That's fine. Yeah.
I mean, so the first one is the van scene. I've actually tried it.
Oh my
Oh, wow.
gosh.
Look, I mean, look, I grew up in the backwoods, so you do it slow. The thing that always blew my mind, even as a kid, I'll be like, "There's no way he could be doing flips because the van would be moving forward. So if he did a flip, he'd be
Mhm,
going in the air
mhm.
and he would fall down." And
Mhm.
but we've tried it. We tried the van surfing. A buddy of mine had one of those van like that. It's a lot harder than it looks. And
I'm
then
sure.
the second one was the party scene ruined my whole
Oh, I know. Yeah.
view of high school parties.
Oh yeah.
I was the chubby guy, and there was never once where my best friend threw Jello down a girl's shirt, and I was able to go get it.
Right.
So right the whole entire time to
I was
do that,
expecting
and
to be locked in a closet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nothing.
no, like where did they get the random Jello from? It was
Mhm.
like I need to go to these parties. They didn't have them in nowhere, Pennsylvania. My bowl of Jello was nowhere to be found.
Sorry,
that
man.
that party was ridiculous.
But
I got all
every 80s
excited,
party, yeah.
nothing.
Every 80s
Yeah.
party was
Yeah.
crazy. For
Every
sure.
80s party was wilder than any party I went to.
Yeah.
Not that I was a big
every
partier.
90s party had a dance scene in it, and then that never happened
yeah.
either too.
Yeah.
Heck with you,
Right.
she's all that. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Well, I mean, what about the whole like being tied up together and like
Yeah.
yeah, that was okay. I've never ever seen anything like that. Not even in a
No.
movie. Like what that happened something?
Right. Now I did read something. I think it was I don't know if I put it in the notes or not, but the I think the writers went to like a local college in Pennsylvania and asked about like what the parties were like, and they used some of the stories they heard for inspiration for the party scene. So
Oh,
who knows? Sometimes fact is stranger than fiction, so you never know.
I just guess
I
I
mean,
was
I
going to
have
the
heard
wrong
about-
places.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, for real.
I have heard about, being locked in the closet thing, but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that's
Yeah, well, yeah. When I was
Yeah,
in
like
tons of
7
movies,
minutes in
13
heaven,
going
right?
on 30.
7 minutes
Yeah,
in
yeah,
heaven.
yeah. All right. Well, what about you, JB? Iconic scenes.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the one that pops up in my head was the high school dance scene when they're all
Yeah.
doing the. It's almost
Doing-
like Thriller,
And the
like,
song,
Oh, very
the
much.
song is awesome.
like-
Yeah.
Big Bad Wolf by the Wolf
Yeah.
Sisters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You sure don't look like no grandma.
That's
Your
right.
hair ain't pearly white. I always, when I think of Teen Wolf, I think about that song and I
Yes.
think about them dancing the little wolf dance or
Mhm.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
almost like Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 songs that I always think of when someone says Teen Wolf. One is that one that you're talking about. The other one is Win in the End.
Win in the end. Yeah.
And it's on my playlist for sure.
Mhm.
And then the last one is like after they win, Shooting for the Moon.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
it's such a slow song to be
It's
like,
so 80s.
yeah, it's just like, okay, the love theme from Teen Wolf to play over
That's
the end credits.
That's right.
So, all right, so for me, iconic scenes, I think for me, I always think about him playing a lot of the basketball scenes of
Yeah.
him as the wolf. That's what I remember. And then the scene when he's trying to get to a different bathroom and he's running down the hall and he starts
Oh, yeah.
sliding down the sliding on the wet floor, and
Great.
then he gets down to the basement or like the gym, and he's trying to hide his hands. And
You don't have a magic marker on.
yeah, vice principal comes in and is asking him. So yeah, that scene I always remembered. I thought that was a good scene. All right, what about favorite scenes? Any favorite scenes you want to talk about?
Well, the ending basketball. I mean,
Yeah.
with win in the end.
Yeah.
That's just like that whole section is amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, it's terrible basketball, but like, it's a great scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was cool that it was cool to see them win it without the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how realistic that is, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
The dragons were like super awesome, and
Yeah, the way they beat
No.
them in the very first game, like, could they really actually even
Yeah.
compete against them? Yeah,
And it's the line that he says, he's like, we're in the championship. It doesn't matter how we get here. We're here now and we can win it. Like, that's not usually it's like that sounds good.
yeah,
In real
it
life,
doesn't work
that's
like
not
that.
how
Yeah.
it works. Yeah. It's like, doesn't matter how we got here. We're here now, so we deserve to be here. No,
Oh.
not really.
One of my favorites is when he gets the part right in the play.
Yes.
And
yes.
he's like the worst actor. He's like,
Worst.
Sergeant,
Yes.
terrible.
burn the fields,
Yeah.
and when you're done with that, burn the house.
Burn the
Right.
house.
It's like
that
the
was
most stilted. And
something.
Yes. Yeah. The theater teacher was one of my favorite characters too, because he's just like, no wolf, no part.
part.
Yeah. So, but like, yeah. Do you have my mauve? I asked for mauve, not lavender. Are you from the hardware store? Like, it's just the overly dramatic drama teacher in high school.
Yeah, for real.
I think my favorite has got to be, and it was mentioned earlier, was the urban surfing.
Yes. Yeah.
Like and honestly, I think the Styles one was like the one that I always remember. I guess because I saw it first.
Yeah.
But I just always thought that was so cool. Like, I never tried it. Like, like Vinny said he did, but yeah. I always thought it would be cool to do it, but
for
I've
sure.
always been a big scaredy cat.
Well, Styles wasn't trying to do all the stunt. Like, he wasn't doing the
Yeah,
handstands and the backflip, so his was more believable. So it's like, I could do that. But when Scott gets up there, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And I think watching it one time with my dad, I think it was my dad that made this comment. He was like, "That's not real, because there's gonna be some power lines he's gonna have to duck under." Just like,
True.
Thanks for the logic, Dad. Thanks for taking me out of the movie.
Well,
with
he
me.
almost did hit the street sign when he was doing
Yeah.
his handstand.
Oh yeah,
he did.
Yeah. So, what about favorite scenes for you, Vinny? You got any that you want to mention?
Yeah, so it's kind of one that gets overlooked, but I remember watching it as a kid, and I'm sure I tried it at some point because I was an idiot when I was a kid. But
Weren't we all?
when they go into the pizza place and randomly someone threw him a beer,
Yeah,
even though he's only 18, and he bites it, and
yeah,
it sprays everywhere.
yeah.
I'm sure I tried that at some point, but it's always like one of my more memorable scenes. But it's like, where did he get the beer from? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure the pizza place didn't serve it, and then
No,
right, so randomly someone was carrying there was so much random stuff in the movie if you watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going forth in one, I've never been into a hardware store where there's a dog whistle. So where did the dog whistle come from? But there's also the random bowl of popcorn that people are eating out of on the front counter of where the checkout is.
Sure, because
You're going, because people just randomly go through, like, randomly, I'm going to eat a piece of popcorn out of this.
There wasn't
yellow-
germs in the
yeah,
80s.
exactly, yeah.
But
Like
they did-
peanuts at the bar. So
That's right.
But everyone was just going by and grabbing popcorn from this yellow tub. And it's just like, no.
just small town living, man. Small town
I
living.
could see a hardware store at a small town selling all kinds of things, like even including a dog whistle, and probably lots of like, because that's probably their only option. They didn't have Dollar Generals on every corner back then.
We had a small town store, and I even think I went in there asking for a dog whistle one time, and people were looking at me like, "Why the hell do we have a dog whistle?" but why would anyone be letting a kid be blowing the dog whistle anyway? If I have my parents anywhere near it,
Yeah.
hey, let's put a random whistle in my mouth. And the
Right.
kid was like inhaling that thing. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
I think this is the first movie where I realized what a keg was.
Yeah.
No,
Kegs weren't big up here. Back in the day, they were party balls. I don't know. Did you have them down your way, Jerry? Or do you guys, am I
doesn't
that old? Does
sound
anyone know what a
familiar.
party ball is?
Oh,
Party ball looks like a gigantic Christmas tree ornament, right? So I
Oh,
think
okay.
it held like 30, 40 beers, and it was only about yay big like this, but you could put it in the trunk of your car. And this is my hoodlum days in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, where you could put it in the trunk. Remember how people's seats used to go down in the back of the trunk?
Yeah.
So you pop it, you'd put it in the trunk with some ice, you'd pump it, get some beer, take the beer, and then you put it back. And the cops come, you just throw the things everywhere in the trunk because you couldn't get to it. But they held like 30 or 40 some beers, but they were called party balls, and they looked like a gigantic Christmas tree or like Christmas tree ball.
Wow.
no, it definitely didn't have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, guys, what are you missing out of you not being in the coal mining towns of Pennsylvania? No van
No,
surfing,
people,
No
no
van
people
party
really,
balls.
if people
And,
really
and
wanted to
we,
get messed up, they would cross the border to Mexico, which was like 15 minutes away, where drinking was legal at a younger age. And yeah,
we did the same thing with Canada. Granted, it was a 6-hour drive, but
So,
It was
so my
worth it.
question for those of you who are, well, you're barely older than me, like, and I see this, and I know the reason because I did go to business school. They can't pay; they've got to have advertisements to do this kind of things. But like, I watch Cheers, and I watch it all the time. It's one of my favorite shows
Mhm.
ever.
Yeah.
And then I watch this movie, and he's like, in Cheers, they're like, "Give me a beer," and in this movie, it's like, "Give me a keg of beer." It's like,
Mhm.
were there actual bars and liquor stores that just sold one kind of beer? So we could just say, "Give me a beer," and they'll just
so
pour you a
that's
beer.
a good question.
I will kind of answer this for you. Like, at least from where I grew up, if you went into like I grew up in Pennsylvania, northeast part of Pennsylvania. If you ever seen The Office, I grew up in Scranton area, right? So this so
Gotcha.
you have an idea. There is no beet farms, but everything else is pretty on there. If you go and say, "Give me a beer," they would give you a Yingling. They would literally say, "You give me a beer." They would give you a Yingling, unless you just said, "Hey, I want a light beer." Then normally it's whatever generic light beer that they had on tap. But if you said a beer, you did get a Yingling. That's
All right.
and again,
Cool.
this took place in California, right? So I don't.
No, it was actually set. It was set somewhere else, but it was filmed in California.
Okay,
So it was supposed
because
to be
what threw
set
me off,
like
Nebraska.
Midwest,
I was gonna
Nebraska.
say
Yeah.
because there was a Nebraska football calendar on the
Yeah.
fridge door,
Yes.
which
Yep.
but I saw on the coach's calendar, I thought it said Santa Anita.
It probably did.
So
I thought somebody said something about California on there, like something about it's California, man, or something. I thought I heard that line at some point.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
but I
No.
saw the
You'd think I
Nebraska
would.
thing,
I've
and
seen
then I
this
saw
like
the
a million
calendar.
times.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in Nebraska. That doesn't look like Nebraska.
No, no, it definitely filmed in California. Let's talk about some scenes in trivia. Talking about where it was filmed. So the house where Scott and Booth stop outside to talk about going to the dance is the same house that George McFly lives in Back to the Future. So they were
Nice.
filmed pretty much on the same street. The dancing was choreographed by Janet Roston, whoever that is, who later directed the Los Angeles Rock Opera Company. Michael J. Fox had a dance double for some of his scenes because the director said Michael J. Fox, as well as being a terrible basketball player, was also a terrible dancer. So they had that going for him. So talking about the last game, originally in the script, Scott was going to start the final basketball game as the werewolf, but the director decided to have Scott play the whole game as himself, which I think worked better.
I think it worked better.
So we talked about, I want to catch these other behind the scenes stuff you could read in the show notes. We won't be able to get to it, but about alternate scenes or alternate, how it got edited down or whatever. There were in the script, there was supposed to be a scene of Scott appearing on the Tonight Show, but it was the only scene that they didn't shoot. So I guess they figured, like, budget wise, they couldn't make it happen. And also, I think the director said they wanted to keep everything kind of in one town instead of really having him travel. But I did mention earlier about the alternate TV version. So in the TV edit that I probably recorded off, the TV version, there were two scenes that were deleted, and that's Styles looking for the marijuana in his garage, where Scott confides in him, which doesn't make sense how then he's never revealed, but then all of a sudden Styles knows. So anyway, and then the last part of the scene of Pam tempting Scott to become the wolf by getting him worked up. So that scene. But there were a few scenes that were added, and this is the scene that I remembered. Styles trying to get a keg of beer from another liquor store. He explains to Lewis that he saw it in a movie once. After he comes out of the store minus a keg, he gets in the car and he says it didn't work in the movie either. I remembered that from
I
TV.
do remember that.
Yeah. And then the other scene was when Scott says his goodbyes to Booth after walking her home. He is all of a sudden being chased by a pack of dogs, and he's saved by the family dog, Daisy, which I don't remember there being a family dog in the movie at all. But I do kind of remember him being chased by dogs at some point.
So Daisy, I was watching it today. Daisy was actually in this movie. Was sitting Booth. I'm a dog person. Jerry's laughing because he probably knew that made my day.
Of course, yeah.
But Booth was sitting on the front porch, and he's like, "Oh, something," because he's like, "Oh, hey, Daisy," and then he turns and Boof's sitting on the front porch, and she's like,
"Oh, right."
He's like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Why does there have to be something going on? I just want to walk to school with you."
Yeah.
Because the first thing he said was, "Hey, Daisy," and the dog was just sitting there
right.
Looked like a stuffed dog because it didn't move.
Yeah,
but I was like,
yeah.
It was random to me because I was like, they didn't talk about the dog the whole entire time. And then it's just sitting in the front yard. It would probably make sense if you saw the other scene where it's going.
Exactly. And the last scene that was added for the TV version is Scott is sitting on the porch with Daisy, once again with a dog, after coming home from the dance. He tells his father that he's decided to not become the wolf anymore. His father tells him he will use it when the time is right. So I think that makes sense because he has the scene at the party, whatever, but he doesn't actually say he's not going to be the wolf anymore until he gets to the game. And it's like, you don't really know how he came to that decision. So I do think that was a good scene that probably could have been kept in the movie, but I can see why they put those in the TV versions. Yeah.
So you keep saying edit, and this bothered me in the movie, and I don't know if any of you guys ever caught it, but there was a part on the basketball scene where everyone stood still, and you could tell they said go. And they never cut it. It's kind of like they're all standing there, like Chubbs and everyone is standing, and they're all doing, and all of a sudden they start moving. Like I was like, how do you not have this editing? Because I catch it every time. It's kind of like the stormtrooper in the first Star Wars movie where he hits his head off the door. I catch it every time. I'm like, how did they not after all this time not stop that? But you could tell that they were waiting to say someone to say action, and they finally say it, and everyone starts running. They never, still to this day, have not taken it out because I would look for it and I was like, there it is. Gotta love it.
I mean, this was still VHS was just becoming as big. I mean, it wasn't quite at its peak yet, but it was kind of coming. So repeat viewings, they weren't thinking about that. They were like, they're going to see in the movie, it's going to be forgotten about, but little they know that we'd be talking about it here, 40 years later. But, just like
VHS.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was speaking of VHS. I like how Tim keeps saying so nonchalantly about how he used to record the TV version of this movie. That's what he watched.
It's piracy, man.
Children listening and watching this at home in Gen Z, we actually used to record movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it didn't stay on a central box that you had to pay rent.
Yeah.
On. No, it was hours at that point.
Yeah.
I'm going to go one further for you guys. JB, did you even know what a Betamax is? Or I did the VHS.
Yeah. We had Beta also. We have a ton of videos from MTV recorded on a Betamax tape.
Oh yeah.
It finally stopped working like 5 years ago.
I had one friend that had a Beta machine that we needed to watch a couple of things on the Betamax, but I mainly knew about VHS. And I had one friend that had the video disc player.
Oh,
they look like big albums.
Yeah. But his dad, we snuck in the room like one day just to look at him. His dad forbid the kids to go in there to play, to like watch anything on it or like mess with anything. But I would see them in the stores and like, I thought they were like soundtrack albums. And I'm like, why is this like $40? And it was because
they were pricey.
Yeah, they were
like $50-$60.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. So we'll talk about it. It's been one of those like, urban legends, I guess, talking about, bad editing. The final shot, he wins the game. He goes in the stands and hugs his father. In the back, you can see immediately behind him, an extra in a red sweater can be seen with an unzipped fly. This incident later resulted in an internet rumor that the extra was a man exposing himself. However, that's not true. It was actually a young woman. Apparently, her pants were too tight, so she unbuttoned and unzipped them so she could sit down on the bleachers. And then when filming commenced, she stood up later while the scene was still being filmed, and she realized it and buttoned and zipped up her pants.
You know, you couldn't look it up, like Google anything
Yeah,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah,
So if
yeah.
someone started, I mean, that's why we all thought, Marilyn Manson did what he did, right?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that's how we thought the kid,
Yeah.
the kid,
Or
what was it? The kid,
from the
Mikey from
Wonder
the,
Years.
no, Mikey from the Life commercial died from eating Coke and Pop Rocks, right? Did you guys all
Right,
hear that?
yeah.
Yeah, that was,
exactly. You couldn't verify anything, so
Yeah.
it's like
Or
you
there
just
was a
believed it.
ghost in 3 Men and a Baby.
3 Minute Baby.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, but yeah, that's I did see that today watching it because now that I have a bigger TV, it's kind of hard to miss. And it's bad thing is because you would have thought they would have zoomed in like to Michael J. Fox and his dad, but no, it's just a super wide shot, and like she's the only person standing on the bleachers behind them. Like there's nobody else around them, and you just see like this, like their
I'm gonna have to
jeans.
go watch it. I'm gonna have to go watch it now.
Yeah, but yeah, so crazy. All right, box office. Atlantic Releasing spent $4 million on advertising for Teen Wolf, released in the US on August 23rd, 1985. It debuted at number 2 in its opening weekend behind Back to the Future, also starring Michael J. Fox. After its initial run, the film grossed over $33 million domestically with a worldwide gross of about $80 million. So yes, it was filmed actually before Back to the Future, but they held it because they knew Back to the Future was going to be such a huge hit. And so they waited until after Back to the Future was released to then release Teen Wolf. And they actually put on the poster, the tagline of the poster was Michael J. Fox is back from the future. And so it's why
Smart.
it did what
Yeah.
it did. So
That's smart.
Yep. All right, now it's time to take a look at how well this 80s flick holds up today. It's our rewatchability and nostalgia meter. It's our way of measuring how enjoyable a movie is for repeat viewings, along with the waves of nostalgia it brings. Here's how it works. It's a 1 to 10 scale. Any number between 1 and 10 will do. Here are a few parameters to help you decide. At the bottom of the meter is a 1. It basically means I saw it once and that was enough. Right in the middle at a number 5 is a good rewatch every couple of years or so. And the highly coveted number 10 on the meter is highly rewatchable and full of nostalgia. So I know this is the first time Vinny has made a rating, so I'll wait and let him go last. So we'll start with Gerry. Gerry, where does Teen Wolf land for you on the rewatchability and nostalgia meter?
So this one's, I can't decide between 8.5 or 9. It's it's around there for me. I love this one. It's pure nostalgia.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's just fun, and you don't have to like think too hard. You can just watch and enjoy, and it's got some killer tunes. So it's,
Oh yeah.
I'll say 9. I'll say 9.
All right. Yeah. Not mad at that. What about you, JB?
Yeah, you can watch it and you can nitpick it as an adult and whatever, but what it all boils down to is I love Michael J. Fox. I grew up watching Michael J. Fox. If I'm going to watch a Michael J. Fox movie, number 1 is going to be Back to the Future, all of them
Of
in a row.
course. Right.
But then after that, it's Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
And like that's
Mhm.
that's my problem. I guess technically my 4th favorite Back to the Michael J. Fox movie.
Right.
Or I could just do like all the Lord of the Rings fans and call them all one movie. Anyway, I digress on that. But no, if I'm going to watch a Michael J. Fox movie, this is probably going to be my second choice. I'm going to say I'm going to go with an 8 or maybe 8.5.
Okay. All right, Vinny, up to you. Where does it land for you? Rewatchability and nostalgia.
So I agree with a lot of stuff that JB said there. A lot of my rewatchability are the movies with the great one-liners.
Oh yeah.
The movie had so many great one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
You watch it again, right?
Yeah.
I would kind of have to agree. I don't know if this would be. I'm not a huge Michael J. Fox fan. I do like Back to the Future, and I do like some of his other movies. Don't get me wrong. I would think this one would have to be just as high, or if not higher, than Back to the Future, because I think Back to the Future doesn't have some rewatchable moments. So probably like an 8.5 for me. I
Okay.
don't know if it's Bill and Ted's. That's for me. That's my all-time 80s rewatchable one.
Right.
But this one is not too far below it.
Okay.
It's the keg of beer, all these other the basketball scenes. It is so rewatchable for me.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think my wife has ever seen it. Is she probably going to see it? No. But I would probably say you would like this one if I was going to say, hey, it's goofy comedy. You could probably watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. Like, it's high on nostalgia for me because, like, it's what we said before, it's one that I watched so many times as a kid. It brings back great memories of watching this and just watching it over and over again. I don't rewatch it as much as I would rewatch other ones. So that kind of brings it down a little bit for me. But yeah, I'm kind of, I can't quite give it a 9 where Jerry lands it, but I'm right there at 8.5 is kind of where I land for as a movie as a whole, because there are some issues. It's probably more of a 7, but on the rewatchability nostalgia meter, it's a solid 8.5.
Right. For sure.
Well,
But yeah.
you want 7 on the actual movie. I look, I love it, but I would be like 5-ish.
You've heard our take. Now let us know where you think Teen Wolf should rank on the rewatchability and nostalgia meter. Please send us an email or tell us on social media. You can also leave a comment right here on YouTube if you're watching the video with us. So I want to thank Gerry D, JB, and Vinny for joining the podcast. We had a great time talking about this movie. It's a fun movie. It's doing episodes like this where I've watched it. We've talked about it. Now I'm ready to go watch it again. Very quickly, Gerry, what's going on with Totally Rad Christmas? What you got coming up? I know it's your spooky season. So what are you covering on the podcast for the month of October?
Yeah. So in October, I always release a Christmas episode and a Halloween episode each year, or excuse me, each week. And so Halloween, we got Superboy, the Laser Tag Academy. I don't know if you remember that cartoon, DuckTales, and that movie Trick or Treat.
I can't not do it.
Oh, of course, for sure. That movie Trick or Treat. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
With Sammy Kerr. Yeah. That's a good one. And then Garfield's Halloween Adventure. And then on the Christmas side, Remote Control, Vinny, which you were on. A very special Christmas party. And then 220 Volts, their song Heavy Christmas. And Blood Beat, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like a psychic samurai warrior ghost that attacks people at Christmas time in like rural Montana or something. It
sounds awesome. I don't see no idea.
It sounds awesome, but that premise is a great elevator pitch, but then you watch it and you're like, wow, this is weird. But if you watch it with subtitles, it gives one of the greatest subtitles I've ever seen, which is, as the soundtrack is going on, it says mystical boinging. So yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on. TotallyRadChristmas.com or linktree.com/TotallyRadChristmas.
What's the name of that movie again?
Blood Beat.
Now playing on Tubi. Don't you?
Right.
Probably is.
Or Plex.
Or Plex, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then JB, I know Manly Movies is still in hiatus, but what you got coming up on SEC
Tavern Talk.
Tavern Talk. I knew it started with a T. I just couldn't get it out. SEC Tavern Talk. I can't talk today. SEC Tavern Talk. Go.
Well, first of all, Blood Beat actually is on Tubi and Plex and Roku.
And Roku.
So,
oh yeah,
there you go.
It's also on like YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
With commercials.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, as far as Manly Movies, I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that I don't know if I'm going to start Manly Movies back up until my kids are not playing youth sports anymore because I'm so freaking busy.
Right. Right.
But as far as the college football podcast, I do the SEC Tavern Talk. I haven't been on the last couple of weeks, but I'm probably going to be on this week because Arkansas's football coach just got fired, and so I'm probably going to get on there and talk and give my 2 cents on that. So
if you ever needed one, I'm a Big Ten guy, but I have no life. I have 4 TVs set up in my living room to watch games. But yeah, it's that time of year I don't leave. So Saturdays, like, unless someone's dying, don't text me.
Well, check out SEC Tavern Talk with JB and soon to be guest co-host Vinny.
The bald-headed Big Ten guy.
Yeah.
Not the first Big Ten guy to be on there. We had an Ohio State fan on there one time.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
All right, well, Vinny, thanks for being on this episode. I know you don't have a podcast to promote, but always glad to have you on the show. We'll have you back again.
I say all these times, I always want to do a podcast. Jerry's been trying to talk me into one for years. I am just so lazy, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I get up early for work. I watch some things on football, and then I go to bed. This is 2 hours past my bedtime at least.
Yeah.
My dogs are probably waiting for me to like, what's going on?
Well, thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I appreciate you.
Not a problem.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Jump online and visit the website 80sflickflashback.com and our TeePublic store for some awesome 80s Flick Flashback merch and original designs. We just launched a new collection of designs inspired by previous episodes like Wildcats and Best of Times and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Tim Williams for the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. Look at the sneakers those guys are wearing. If our guys had sneakers like that, tell them what they could do.